Well, hello. It's Tuesday, and this is our point slope practice. Once again, I'm going to do the odd numbers. And so here's number one. And so I've got the point 3, 1, and m equals 4. So all we're going to do, we're going to put in a point slope, which is the formula y minus y sub 1 equals m x minus x sub 1. And so I'm doing substituting, and I like to go ahead and use parentheses whenever I substitute. And so my m is my 4, and x is 3, and y is 1. And so I have y minus 1 equals 4x minus 3. I'm going to distribute. Y minus 1 equals 4x minus 12, because 4 times 3, negative 3 is 12. And it says that I want an equation in point slope form. So I'm done at this point here. Some people say I'm done at this point right here. I like to go ahead and distribute, but that's sufficient for point slope. Because since it's in the original format, I know this is a positive number and that's a positive number, just like when they started. Okay, here's number 3. Remember, when we leave all the evens for you to do, kind of helps you to try on your own. And so I got 4 comma negative 3, and my slope equals negative 5. So I'm going to have y minus a negative 3 equals negative 5, x minus 4. I don't like this. You got to do at least this operation here. So this is y plus 3. Whenever I see a plus right here, I know that the original formula changed. It was looking for the difference. Now this, and negative 5 times x minus 4. And that's good enough for point slope. Because instantly you know that something happened right there. That's why this is positive. And there's my m, and there's my x input. And so that's sufficient. All right, now we're going to do number 5. Write the equation in slope-intercept form. Well, slope-intercept form is going to be slope-intercept form is y equals mx plus b. And so all I do is find out 2 points. I got 1 point here and I got 1 point here. So first one, I'm going to find my slope equals y sub 2 minus y sub 1 over x sub 2 minus x sub 1. This is my slope formula. So my 2 points are going to be negative 3 comma 2, and my other point is going to be 5, 0. I got them from right here, this point and this point. So I'm going to call this x sub 1 and y sub 1, and this x sub 2 and y sub 2. That just means the second term values. So when I plug it into this, equals y sub 2 would be 0, minus, the sign stays the same, and y sub 1 is 2, over x sub 2 is 5, minus x sub 1 is negative. And so this equals negative 2 over 8. Opposite of negative 3 is positive 3. And this equals negative 1 over 4 simplified. Now I can take one of these points, doesn't matter which one it is. I'll choose this one just simply because it's positive. And so I'm going to go y minus y sub 1 equals m x minus x sub 1. I'm going to substitute my values. Equals m, and this is y sub y value, y minus 0 equals negative 1/4 x minus 5. Y equals negative 1/4 x plus negative times negative is a positive, and I'm going to have 5 divided by 4. And I'm done. Here's number 7. Write the equation in slope-intercept form from the line that passes through the given points. So once again, my numbers are 5 and negative 4 and 15, 2. Remember, that's going to be y sub 2 minus y sub 1 over x sub 2 minus x sub 1. That's going to equal my m, or my slope. So I'll call it x sub 1, y sub 1, x sub 2, y sub 2. And it doesn't matter which ones I label as 1 and 2. I can reverse the order because, once again, they're just 2 points on a line. And so this is going to be y sub 2 is going to be 2 minus a negative 4. Negative 4 comes from right here. This y sub 1 over x sub 2 will be 15 minus, and it's always minus. We're always finding the difference between these 2 points. And x sub 1 is 5. This equals 2 plus 4 is 6. And 15 minus 5 is 10. And of course, this reduces to 3 over 5. They're both divisible by 2. Alrighty, so I'm going to choose 1 point. And I'll choose this one here just for make things different. And so y minus y sub 1 equals m x minus x sub 1. So here's my m, 3/5, and x1 and y sub 1. And so it's y minus negative 4 equals 3/5 x minus 5. So y plus 4 equals 3/5 x, because 3/5 times x is 3/5, and 3/5 times this is going to be negative times negative is a positive, 15 over 5, that equals 3. So y plus 4 equals 3/5 x plus 3. I'm going to subtract 4 from both sides because I'm going to write it in slope-intercept form. Y equals 3/5 x plus 3 plus minus 4, and that's going to be 1. So y equals 3/5 x minus 1. And I'm done. That was number 7. All right. Here's number 9. Write a linear function f for the given values. So what I do, I remember this function of x equals y. Okay, I know I got my input here, and that's my output. And f of x is a fancy way of saying y in the first place. Okay, so this is my input, and this is my output. So this is my, so if this f of 1 equals 3, I can say that x, y, 1, 3. And on the second one, I've got 3, 4. And I'm going to write a linear equation. So I have these 2 points right here. So I'm going to have 4 minus 3 on top and 3 minus 1 on the bottom. 1 over 2 equals m. Remember, I used the slope formula. I did y sub 2 minus y sub 1 over x sub 2 minus x sub 1 to find these values here. So I'm going to choose one set of values. I'm going to choose these two here. And so it's going to be y minus 3 equals, my slope is 1/2, x minus 1. So I substituted the x and the y values in my original formula. That's my point slope. And now I'm going to do y minus 3 equals 1/2 x minus 1/2. I'm going to add 3 to both sides. So y equals 1/2 x. And 3 minus 1/2 is going to be positive 2.5. And I'm done. All right, and now I'm going to skip number 11 and do number 13. Here's 13. Okay, 13 says, tell whether the data of the table can be modified by linear equation, modeled by linear equation, explain possible linear equations represents as a function of x. So what we're looking for is, we're looking for the difference of the x over difference of y's. That's ultimately what we're looking for. And so this is plus 2, plus 2, plus 2, plus 2. Okay, so we're consistently plussing 2. Here I'm plussing 3, plus 3, plus 3, plus 3. So they're both consistent top bottom, so therefore I have a linear. That's y equals mx plus b. So my m equals my change of y, delta y over delta x. So my y's over x is going to be 3 over 2, and that equals my m value of my slope. I can choose one point out here. Remember, when x is 0, across the y-axis, so these are already set up for me, obviously. So y equals 3/2 x, plus 0, because when x is 0, y is 0. And so we're done. We're good at this point right here. We're done. All right, those are the odd ones.